everyone, this is Chris from Stylharmony. Thank you for joining me. Today's video is about making galaxy backgrounds, and I have done few of these. I've tried many ways and with different colors, but I really like the bright colors of these. It's probably a bit too bright, but you can always how could I say, put them darker by putting more black or more blue. But I really wanted to do something really nice in order to make some Christmas cards, and it's a background, so it will be covered maybe by a lot of my decorations I will be putting on here. So for this we'll need chalk pastels. So I'm using the Surgeon Art. They're 24 artistic pastels, and they're really nice. So they're coming like this. They're full size, and I've already taken out the colors I'm going to use. The only thing that I'm a little bit disappointed with is that there's only one green. There's 5 browns, 4 grays, but only 1 green. I would have appreciated maybe 3 greens would have been nice. Anyway, really good brand. So I'm only going to work with some blue, a yellow, a really bright pink, and a red, and of course I'm going to use some black and maybe a little bit of green. And here I'm working with some very light watercolor paper, very light. You can use any kind of paper, but if it has a little bit of tooth on it, it's going to grab on the chalk pastels much better. So I would recommend using, if you can, something with a little bit of tooth. You don't have to buy an expensive watercolor for this, but you know, it's just better, and it's going to be really messy, but it goes off very quickly. So what I would recommend also is using a little spray bottle and some rags or a paper towel, sorry. I'm going to have few here because during this process you're going to have to wash your hands a little bit. So even though my paper is already dirty, I'm going to start with the lightest colors first. And I recommend putting these first because if you put them later on, they're not going to show up that much. So I'm putting few spots here and there of color, and I'm going to put a little bit of more yellow here. There's no really wrong and right or right here, it's just to have fun. And with one clean finger, if you can find one in the beginning, that's okay. I'm going to press down my finger here. I guess you could use a cotton ball for this, but I think I have got more control and I can press harder on the paper in order to make this chalk pastels really stick to my paper. So I'm going to use this finger for the pink, and it's really random. You can put the colors wherever you want, and maybe you can start to blend some of the colors together. And I tend to make mine very bright, so I'm going to continue. And now that I put my brightest colors, I'm going to go in and I'm going to put some blue here all around. Just notice that, and I try to keep a little bit of white space, and if there's none, I tend to don't really put enough white space, but I think it's nicer. It looks a bit more realistic to give some highlights somehow. And of course your blue is going to blend in with the yellow a little bit with the greenish color, but that's okay because I haven't put any green. Just going to a little bit over it. I'm not going to cover all my bright colors, and I'm going to turn this paper. This is a bit too harsh here, and I prefer to go slowly and add on some colors if I think it's not bright enough than going directly with too harsh or too much color here. Blend in the edges. And just one thing, don't do this if you want to brush away all these this powder, this chalk powder that you've made. Just blow on it, or the best thing to do is just do this. I think it's because if you do that, you're going to put all your colors there on top of each other, and it's not going to look that nice. Okay, and I'm going to blend here a little bit more. I'm going to tone down a little bit of these colors. Maybe put a little bit more pink here. Where's my pink? My pink finger. And it's really fun to do and kind of relaxing. A little bit more. There you go. Okay, and now I am going to use the black. And the black is really, really dark, really black. So I'm going to go slowly with this first. I'm going to do all the edges. And I'm going to work my way from the edges to the center. Like if I was doing a little border, because the eyes are going to be more concentrated and focused on the inside of my image. And this is what I want to go for, and blend it in. My paper is really not thick, so be careful. Try to really hold it down and watch where you're going to put your fingers. Okay, that's not another important point here with your other hand. And I'm going to keep up adding a little bit of dark. And going over my other colors here. And what I like with this black is that it's not changing really the colors underneath, it's just getting them a little bit more darker, and that's perfect. And I think that you have a lot of control with this, honestly. It's really nice about it. And too bright, you can always tone them down. Still put a little bit more black here around. And I'm still going to tone them down. Yes, it's going to be more natural. I think so. Even though I like when it's bright and colory and so when you put your black or even your other colors, try not to use a sharp angle here, but put it more flat. So you will avoid unwanted ugly lines here on your paper. Let me see. Pink is here. Okay. I think I like this one. It's maybe too regular. It makes four. I'm going to put a little bit more here. My yellow was there. And I'm kind of joining these 2 points here. Because, yeah. And if they're stained, don't worry. Just take a rag here. And I've got some paint too on them, but you can clean them up just like this very easily. And I've got, okay, if you want to light it up, you made a mistake, you can always come with your paper towel and try to take some of your black, for example, on top. You thought you put too much, well, you can get some out of it, just like this. And I think I'm going to color it good, maybe another bit of black around here. Put it more into the middle. And finally a little bit of blue on top. Just a tiny weeny bit. And these chalk pastels are not expensive, and they're really, I think they're a good brand. Don't buy something really expensive for this. Okay, and now the last touch to make it really look nice is going to be using some paint. So I forgot my paint. I'm going to get it and I'll just be back. I know it's there. That's fine. So I'm going to put this here. I'm going to put some paint on my desk here, just a tiny bit, and a little bit of water too. Okay. And you can use a toothbrush for this technique or a paintbrush, something that is more convenient. I think I'm going to use the toothbrush. Let me show you this. And I'm going to use just a little bit of this paint with water, and I'm going to press it in a little bit. I want to put enough paint here in my toothbrush in order to be able to flick some of this paint onto my card here, because it's going to be a card base. Let me see, I don't know if it's going to be enough. And I'm just going to flicker some paint here, and I think I didn't put enough, see? So I'm going to put more. Let me put this aside a little bit. Really, I think I really need much more. And maybe a little bit more paint. And depending on the distance you're going to flicker your paint, you're going to have small little drops or bigger drops. So maybe give it a try first on a piece of paper to see what it looks like. And when you're happy with the result, come back. And you know it's only paper. Okay, now it's time to flicker. And you can always put as much or as little as you wish. I'm going to put this back into the water. And there you have your background. So I don't know why it seems to be really sharp on the camera, but it's quite subtle. And once this is dry, you can fix this with a fixative that is made for chalk pastels. But honestly, if you just use this kind of spray, it's Aquanet. You can find this, I know, very well in the United States. But it's just a hair conditioner, a hair spray, and it's the cheapest one you can find. It's going to be good enough to really lock in your chalk pastels, and you won't have your fingers everywhere. I mean, you won't have chalk on your fingers, so you can very easily give this card to someone. You can also make a bigger one and mount it as a under a frame and put this on a wall. Of course, much bigger, but that would be really, really nice. So this is one of the way you can do this using chalk pastels, because it's quick, it's not expensive at all, and you can use this for many other techniques. And these are the few I made. These are brighter. There's less black here. I might turn them down a little bit, but they're really, really cool too. So there's this one also, and I decided I wanted to put a little bit of bling to it, so I spread some glitter, and I fixed the glitter the same way with some Aquanet, some hairspray, and it's really nice. I've done this one, which I really, really like. I've done this one on a very thick 300 grams watercolor paper, and it really turned out very, very smooth. I like it. So there you have it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I really had some great time making these, and you can use less colors, maybe just blue and black if you don't want to make a galaxy look, but that was my goal here, to make a galaxy, because I really think it's nice. So please, if you like this video, give me some thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and share. See you soon for many other videos. Bye bye.